Hello and welcome to my channel. In today's video I am trying out these Promarker pens by Winsor and Newton. I recently bought these in the range because I wanted to see what they are like. This video is not sponsored by Winsor and Newton. I hope you will find it useful. I wanted to try these Promarker pens for a while as they seem like a cheaper alternative to Copic markers, which I haven't used yet. Promarker pens come in a variety of colors. 148 in total. They are alcohol-based and permanent. Winsor & Newton also sells brush markers. These are similar to Promarkers, but instead of a fine rigid tip and a broad nib, they have a soft brush nib. Brush markers are sold in 72 different colors, but you can use them together with the Promarkers. So with this out of the way, let's look at the colors. I bought set 2, which has a blender and the following 12 colors: canary yellow, bright orange, ruby, rose pink, amethyst, sky blue, indigo blue, lime green, forest green, henna, cool grey and black. When I buy new pens or colors, watercolors or acrylics, I tend to make a color chart to see how they look on paper. Unfortunately, when I started making this video, I didn't have the right paper. This paper is a lightly textured drawing pad, and as you can see, the colors bleed through and the ink soaks in quickly, which means it's impossible to blend these. To avoid bleeding through, you can just add another sheet of cheap paper as a protective layer. You could also try and use a smooth Bristol board, but again I found that it bleeds through and that it wasn't easy to blend as it dries super quick. Here you can see all the colors on my paper. So this is the bleed-proof Winsor Newton pad I ordered. It has smooth paper that should make blending easier. Let's make some marks with this pen. I am using henna for this demonstration. Let's try layering. When you layer colors, make sure to wait until each layer is dry. Blending with these markers takes practice. Here it's important to work quickly. The ink still needs to be wet, otherwise it won't work. The blending pen is transparent. Let's see how this works. Again, you need to work very quickly. You can lift out areas with the pen, but it's not the same as working with watercolors. After using the pens, make sure to clean them, like so. According to the leaflet, you can use these pens on wood, metal and glass. I don't have metal or wood to test them on, but I can show you how they work on glass. Because glass has a smooth surface, these pens work very well without bleeding out too much. You can also layer the colors. Just make sure you wait until they are dry. I wiped the colors out with baby wipes because I wanted to use the glass for a different project. This, however, might not work so well when the colors are completely dry, and you are better off using something like white spirit. For this demonstration I am using Primo translucent clay. This is raw clay. The fine nib doesn't work so well on this surface, as you can see. It's not gliding smoothly over the clay. The broad nib works much better. Once the ink is dry, you can layer it. The colors don't bleed out as they do when you use them straight from the bottle. This is certainly not as messy, and with practice and an idea of what you want to draw on the clay, I think you can achieve interesting results. So how do these pens work on cured clay? I only have cured clay pieces to test which are dyed in different colors. Using the pens on this tile will therefore look different to using them on white paper. When you use the pens for blending, make sure that you clean them afterwards on white paper. As you can see, it doesn't work so well with this orange color. You can hardly see the amethyst. It's too pale. I think you could achieve better results by using either translucent or white translucent clay to paint on. This is the raw clay from earlier, which I ran through the pasta machine. The indigo comes out nicely. So yes, you can certainly use these pens on polymer clay to either dye it or paint on it. Just be aware that the fine nib doesn't run very smoothly over the clay's surface. I made these two sketches based on two watercolor sketches that I painted last year. When you are used to watercolors, working with pens like these is very different. The colors bleed slightly out and you can't really correct mistakes, which you can of course in watercolor and many other mediums. You can lift out color with a blender, but you won't get it completely lifted. I tried that with the bird's eye when I realized I forgot to put in the highlights. So when you paint with these pens, it's important that you plan ahead the areas you want to keep white, the areas you want to layer, and really test and practice layering and blending. You also want to avoid subjects with a lot of detail. You can easily draw over blocks of color and add detail with a black fine liner. So a way to work is simply sketch it out first, test your colors, block in the colors and layer, blend where necessary, then add the finer detail with a fine liner. I will try this with my next painting, which I will share in a separate video. I really like these pens and have to play around with them more. The colors are really nice and they have great coverage. Blending with a blending pen is not so easy and really requires practice. It's also great that they sell these pens in a lot of different colors and you can buy them individually. The only thing I don't like about the Promarkers is that they are not refillable. I also don't know how long they will last. I think Winsor & Newton should consider manufacturing refills for these pens. And that's it. I hope you found this video useful. If you have a question, let me know in the comments. Happy painting and drawing. Thanks for watching. Until next time.